Good day, good day. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Jay, and this is Homeschool Yo Kids Podcast. Before we get started, be sure to check out a couple of our sponsors who are mission to ensure that you do not homeschool alone. So, big shout out to Classical Conversations, who is a nationwide curriculum provider as well as community support. And big shout out to Basecamp, which is a new app that is mission to ensure you find not only local resources, but also local families near you who match your criteria or demographics, and you all can meet up and hang. So check them out, Basecamp. And today we have with us Wendy. Wendy, introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I am Wendy Zanders, your declutter coach. My business is Special Needs Decluttering LLC. I work alongside children, adults, and seniors, helping them declutter and simplify their spaces. So it's not just physical spaces. It could be time management. They're losing time. It can be their schedules. It can be physical spaces, digital spaces, all the spaces that kind of make up your life. I'm able to help declutter and simplify. And when I work with children, it's teaching them these life skills, right? It's so important. Yes, math and English and science is important, but when you teach your children these life skills, it goes so much further into adulthood and beyond.
Yes, 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 that's a word. And you homeschool.
Yes, I
And you
homeschool.
homeschool. Yes. And you have just one, right?
I have two. So
Oh,
I
you
have
have two.
an
Okay.
18-year-old, I have an 18-year-old son. He's like the first pancake. You're like, okay, let's try to figure this out. So
Right. Isn't the first pancake always so raggedy? Like not your son raggedy, but just I'm just saying, like it's always like not how you want. It's like
we struggled through, but it was so beautiful. And so we lived in Maryland, and then when we were moving to Arizona, we had a homeschool family that we did a play date with. And I don't know what the little girls told my daughter. My daughter was around, she was going into kindergarten, just around maybe 5, going to 6. And I don't know what the little girls told my daughter. My daughter was like, I'm going to be homeschooled. Um, Technically you're going into kindergarten in public school. My son is going into middle school and we're moving to Arizona, right? And I'm like, if we're going to do this, and she was adamant. And I'm like, where is she getting this from, right? And I was like, well, if we're going to try this thing, my son going into middle school and her going into kindergarten, this is the time to do it. So I started looking into it, and we went to the AFHE conference when we came here, very overwhelmed. And I was like, I am determined when I leave this conference, I need a curriculum. So I was on a mission. And in hindsight, that was not the way to approach homeschooling, because I wanted to homeschool. I wanted to take public school and do it at home. That is what I was thinking. And so I was on a mission. I looked at Sunlight. I looked at Abeka. And because my kids were at Christian school when we were in Maryland, that's what they were using. So I got me the whole package of 6th grade and kindergarten. And I'm like, oh, look at my stuff. And I'm going to get so organized. And the boxes kept coming. And I'm like, okay, we got this. And the tears, I cried, my son cried, my daughter, we went really slow with her, but I was trying to, like, all right, the teacher's talking and he's listening in a classroom. And I'm like, this is not quite what I was hoping for, but I'm like, all right, we're going to keep going because we invested in this thing. We're going to do this. And within 3 weeks, I was like, this is not working. And I called them up. Thank goodness we were able to get 90% of our funds back.
Oh, nice.
10% stocking fee. I'm like, okay, fine. But I shipped it all back in a quickness. And this was in 2019. So this was that summer. And I found some friends. I found some community. I'm all about community. For me, we don't know anybody here in Arizona. So I'm all about community. And I found some friends that were homeschooling, and they said, just unschool. And I'm like, what is that? Because now you're thinking, okay, you want to do a transition from public school mindset into what homeschooling would be. And we started just cooking in the kitchen. Okay, we're making pancakes. We're going to double the recipe. multiplication. Okay, ratios. Like I tried to do math in the kitchen because math was tough for my son. And then my son he had his diagnosis of ADHD. So trying to keep him motivated was hard as well. But it was really, it was so beautiful the way how we fell into homeschooling with a 5-year-old being adamant
Mm.
about being homeschooled.
I know, like little leader, like she really came and switched up the whole program on y'all.
She switched it up, but so grateful. And we've been doing it. And when 2020 hit and people started homeschooling, I did some Zoom stuff and I'm like, hey, what are your questions about homeschooling? And I wasn't an expert, but I was like, this is what we are doing.
Mhm.
So I was able to share our knowledge with that. But the goal is not to find the best curriculum and have all of your subjects in there. That's what I wanted. I was like, all in one. And then eventually we started picking and choosing from different things. And now we do life skills. We do interest-based learning. So what is the child interested in? And then we put all the subjects around that. So during that time, we moved in 2022, we moved to Florida and we started homeschooling. We did co-op for the first time there. We loved it. My daughter didn't love it. My daughter does have autism, and she's not a fan of like huge groups and huge kids running all over the place. That's not her thing. So she struggled with it. But once she got into her classroom, she was okay. She loved her teacher. She loves the subject, and it was 1 day a week. And that's what she loves. She's like, I don't mind school 1 day a week.
I like her.
And then we found out that my son, he loves working with his hands. I never would have known that if we didn't try different things. And we got him a dirt bike. And I said, okay, you're going to take this dirt bike. And for this year, your curriculum is for you to rebuild this dirt bike.
Mm.
So I remember you thinking about, okay, math and English and all these subjects, it is painful to get him to do his homework. With this dirt bike, I said, okay, I'm going to get you the manual and you're going to read the manual and then you're going to, create like little how-tos. You want to change the oil. He said, no, 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 please don't make me read anything. Like, what do you mean? He is like, no, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to watch YouTube videos and I'm going to figure it out. And that's what he did. That is how he learned. And I said, okay, we're going to bed. I turned on the alarm for the house. It's around 10 p.m. I said, do not leave this house. We are going to bed. At 2 o'clock in the morning, he's in the garage tinkering with the dirt bike, sending me. I wake up in the morning and there's text messages on, okay, I need this part from eBay. And I said, don't leave the house. He said, but the garage is not leaving the house.
Right? No, that's a part of the house, Mom. I agree.
All right. But that is how we knew he loved working with his hands. If you can tell him, all right, we're going to bed. You can stay up if you want to. And he's out there doing homework. You found something.
Right.
You
Because
found something.
he reading and writing while he typing
Right?
up what
Yep.
he needs
What
and
he
doing
needs.
the research. Like he's yes,
And for
honey.
math, I'm like, all right, keep track of all of your expenses. And I'm like, okay, what is this and how much cost comparison? So it wasn't the traditional trigonometry and all that stuff. I mean, kids, if that's what they need to do for their career, I get it, but it's not what he needed. And it's not
Mhm.
something that I'm gonna say, oh, you're gonna use this someday because I'm 43 years old. I graduated in 2000 and I'm still waiting to use sine, cosine, and tangent. That is all I
Um,
remember from high school. Okay. I went up to pre-calculus. When am I going to use that? I would have rather
mm,
had an accounting
I didn't even go
class,
that far.
budgeting, or something else. I would rather have had that kind of finance classes than struggling to get a C. And all I remember is sine, cosine, and tangent. I don't even know what that is for, but
Girl, you and me both. That's like geometry for me, like polygram and like theories and stuff that I ain't
those
never
real
had to
words,
recap.
those real
Yeah,
words, right?
never.
So,
Like no one's ever asked me. The most geometry I do is parting their hair when I'm trying to braid. Okay. And I still ain't got it.
right.
First, I'm still cricket.
And it's okay. The hair is done. Yeah. So I always say, teach them what they need for the future. And things are changing so much, And then when my son turned
Yes.
16, he was done. He was done with school. And I sensed it, we sensed it. And we went to a college career and there was a welding school there. And
Oh.
Oh, and my son was like, "Ooh, what do you guys do there?" Because initially he was interested in being a mechanic, working on cars, welding mufflers. The louder the muffler, the closer to God he felt, right? That is what he wanted to do. And we saw the welding booth, and they were like, "Yeah, you can do welding." And he was like, "Well, what do I have to be 18 to do this?" And they're like, "No, as long as you graduate." That night, he was done. I was like, and you're graduated, and I'm like, can we really do this? Yeah, he's done. And we enrolled him. We enrolled him. And because he has been navigating life with adults, being homeschooled, when he was in welding school, he worked at Chick-fil-A. He woke up at 5:15. He opened
Mm.
he got off at 2. He took a little nap, and then I drove him to school because he's 16. He ain't got no car, right? He ain't got no license. We have to drive him. Drove him to school, and I waited in the parking lot till 10 p.m. until he was done.
Oh,
His
wow.
his teachers, his instructors thought he was a veteran. At 16, they were like, the way you carried yourself, you had conversations. He was about his business, and I'm like, that's my baby. The thing,
Right?
kids can act up at home, but when you out in those
Every
streets,
day.
you better represent.
You better don't go out here embarrassing me.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
you got a whole
very proud.
testimony, honey. I love that. Like, oh, you graduated? No, I decided I was
Yeah,
finished. Okay, Kanye,
yeah.
16. Like, okay, no, we done. We done. I'm ready. I'm ready, Mom. Send me out here.
So I would say that if you have a teenager out there, don't feel like they have to go to college. They have to. Yes, maybe you come from a long line of military people. Maybe you come from a
Mm,
long line of graduates, doctors, lawyers, all that stuff. That does not mean that your children have to follow in that. Let them pick that path if that's what they want to do, but really figure out what does your child want to do and then really nurture that, because I'm telling you, when they turn 18, they're going to be good. Like my son, when he was 17 and a half, that summer, he told us, when I turn 18, I'm moving back to Maryland. And I said, okay. I
what?
said, all right. So by then I passed him his passport. I was so scared. I took pictures. I'm like, just in case he lose this stuff. Oh Lord. But I took pictures of everything and I said, all right, here's your passport. Here's a birth certificate, social security card. We did a transcript for him and then his certificate, and I gave him all in like a little portfolio thing. And I said, all right, you ready? And when he turned 18, the next day he moved back to Maryland. So
What?
he's living with his grandfather, and he's working. He's not working in welding. He's working in security, but he's still pursuing. The thing is, when
Yes.
you're the hardest thing, again, he's our little pancake, right? Navigating the welding world. When you're 18, you're so brand new. At 16, when he graduated, he couldn't get a job because he had to be 18. So it's like, but why didn't we sign a waiver saying he can take the program, but he won't be able to be hired until he's 18?
Mm,
So I'm a little salty about that, but I told him, I said, hey, you're a pancake baby. We're figuring it
yeah.
out. So, but and then even if he doesn't do welding, the the work ethic this kid have. I'm like, when I call him, I always say, you got this. Figure it out.
Hmm.
You got it. You got it. And he's a hard worker. So if anything comes out of that, he is a hard worker. And I said, you will never be homeless. You'll never be jobless because you're a hard worker. Yeah.
Yes, no, that's what I'm hearing. I hear all this independence. I hear all this like, hey, yo, I got this. Like he's fearless. Okay. He don't know any limits. Like to say, all right, you in Arizona, but I'm about to go ahead and move back to Maryland.
The hardest thing was when between 16 and 18. At 16, he was adulting. You waking up,
Hmm.
opening up a Chick-fil-A, opening up the store, who worked in the kitchen, getting up at 2, taking a power nap, and then going to school at night. He's adulting, but he's
Girl,
not
you
an
big
adult.
time.
So
Girl,
that
he was
was
at the most
hard,
prestigious
but it was
Chick-fil-A.
hard. It was hard though. It was so they missed him when he left, but it was
No.
hard when you're adulting, but you're not an adult. So you're
Hmm.
like, I can't wait to get there. And it's like, take your time, because I'm telling you, when those bills start coming in, I don't recommend adulthood. It's like,
Right. I
star,
know he did right. Go to grandpa house, go to granddaddy house. Like,
go to
don't
grandpa.
know. Like
Grandpa
he said,
got
I ain't bump my head. Like, I just want a little more independence. I ain't like I
yes,
ain't I'm not going off
and
the
he's
deep
doing
end now.
amazing. Yeah, he's gonna be
That is
19 in
so
November.
beautiful.
Can't believe it. Yeah.
So it's just you and baby girl now. How's
Mm,
y'all day
girl.
flowing?
And she is night and day. He is more of the science, guitar, um, Japanese, traveling. Like she is so opposite, but she is like, all right, let's do this. She's the one when in kindergarten when she don't want to do no schoolwork during the day, but at 10 o'clock, can we read this book about the heart and the lungs and the this and the that? I'm like,
At
okay,
10 p.m.?
I'm on to you. You don't want to go to I'm on to you. All right, girl. Let's so she did her learning at night. So even now, I try not to schedule anything before 10 a.m. because she
Okay.
has a hard time going to sleep at night. I try not to schedule anything before 10 a.m. Anything before 10 a.m., she's not quite ready to go. She'll do it. She's not a rebellious child. She'll do it, but it will exhaust her. So I know to
Mm.
get the best out of her, wait till 10 or 11 a.m. 10 o'clock, she wakes up, 11 o'clock, we're heading out the door, but more in the afternoon is when we do the schoolwork. So figure out what does your child's schedule look like if you're able to. Now, some families are like, look, I'm homeschooling 4 kids. I can't have everybody wake up at 10 o'clock. But if you have one child that wakes up at 6 without an alarm clock, I'm saying without alarm clock, not with alarms, natural wake up. Even at 10 o'clock, her alarm goes off. And I'm like, all right, girl, you got to get up. Right. But if you have a child that naturally rises up at 6 a.m., get them started on homeschool, then the next kid. So if you're able to, and not every family can do that, but if you're able to, their output is going to be so much more enjoyable, and it won't be a fight to homeschool them.
Indeed. Pick your battles, honey. Pick your battles. But it's definitely, about what works for you. Because some parents do function well, or families in general function well, waking up at 8 o'clock, having breakfast by 9, and then they jump into everything else. So I'm always, hey, hats off to you. But we are definitely aflow with it.
We school year round,
And
but
we do
right,
too.
right. We school year round, but we take times off. So next year we're going to be going to Japan. We're not quite taking time off. We're switching because I'm like, hey, you're in Japan. You're speaking Japanese. Oh, this is our whole thing. Forget math, forget all those things. We doing all Japanese but then again, you build in culture around that. So
Yes.
you do your math, like, okay, we're going on the train. What we got to do here? So you build all the subjects around the thing that you're going to be doing. So we host, so we do 4-H. We're kind of slowing down on the 4-H now,
Mhm.
but we always every year we do the exchange program. So Japanese delegates come over. Last year I had a Japanese daughter. She was 13. That was with
Oh,
us. Yeah, and then this year we're hosting the Japanese chaperone. So she's here. We have 13 delegates that spread out towards Arizona. They head back on Friday. It was so sad. But now
oh,
we have another place. They're like, come visit us when you come visit us. So
yes.
they're really wonderful people, and you get to learn your Japanese. So if you have a child that's working, or you have a child that's learning Spanish or German, there are delegates that's coming from all over the world here to the U.S. And you're able to go as well. So if your child is 12 years old, they can go on the outbound program. So
Mm,
we're going to go just the two of us because of her anxiety, just to see what it's like, meet some people. And then hopefully, if she's comfortable, maybe some of the families will say, oh, we could host her. So then we know exactly who would be her host family versus somebody just picking her and she doesn't know who they
mhm.
are. So that's our goal. And there's special needs people, there's special needs children in Japan as well. So that they have my
Mm.
heart. They may not be able to come, but I want to be able to allow them to be part of the program as well. So what does that look like? I don't know, but all children deserve to have these opportunities, not just
Indeed.
because
Oh
special
my.
needs, but when you know that we're a special needs family, we will love to have a special needs delegate from Japan. It will be amazing.
Yes, no, I can't wait till she connects with my girls. Look, they've gotten into anime recently, and so they're on all things Japanese and
Manga. Okay.
Korean and manga. Oh,
Oh,
Kenny just
Korean.
got checked out like 7 books from the library yesterday, and I'm like, yo, why you had to check out all of them right now? Like, like all of them.
And she's going to read them all.
She
And she's
is.
gonna,
She
yeah.
is. She definitely is. But it's just like, well, first of all, that was a tear moment because, honey, it took us a while to get here, definitely. And I told her on the way because, we've been riding the train to the library. And I was telling her on the train, I was just like, I'm happy that you found something that speaks to you, like, that you want to keep going back to, because it's a long time coming because I'm a reader, avid reader, and I
Right?
was just waiting for them to jump on because we're gonna keep going to this library. Look, that's what you gonna know. We're gonna
Yes.
keep going.
But when it comes to reading, as Anaya was in the fifth grade on a first grade reading level, and she got her autism diagnosis last October. And I am so
Mm,
grateful that her doctor said, you know what? I want her to go get vision therapy, get testing for her vision. So she
mm,
sent us to this Accent Eye Care in Phoenix. Turns out her both eyes are not tracking. That's
mm,
why she's having a hard time reading. Because I'm like, fifth grade, first grade level reading. Okay, we read more and more and more. And that wasn't it. She has
mm.
dyslexia, dysgraphia, and dyscalculia. So it
Oh,
wasn't just that she
wow.
was struggling in math, reading, and writing. They didn't label. See, I'm all about labels. Give me the label so I can know what I'm researching.
Mm,
It wasn't just about, oh, should we need to read more, more, more. Her eyes aren't tracking. So she's losing her place. So she started reading with her finger, but it was very slow. 2 nights ago, we started reading I Have a Dream book, and I read one page, she reads one page, and I was like, girl, slow down. I couldn't
Isn't it so
believe it.
beautiful though, the
Yes,
progress to see,
yes.
especially when you know where they started from? It's like, oh my gosh,
So
like,
I'm all for therapy. If your child needs therapy, please don't feel embarrassed about it. Get the children the resources that they need so they can thrive. Just from doing vision therapy, she has went up 3 reading levels already. So
oh
next month,
wow.
we're going to get her tested to see what reading level she's at. So then we can figure out, okay, what's that gap to, because she's going to start sixth grade. What is that gap?
Hmm.
What additional support does she need? Because I'm all about what does she need? Because I'm here for it. I told my son, I'm telling my daughter, I am the biggest cheerleader. Okay, until your
Yeah.
spouse, your husband or your wife come along, I am the biggest cheerleader. I am the loudest. My son played tackle football. I was loud.
You gonna know I'm here.
You know I'm here, right? I'm going to get these parents up off their butts and we're going to cheer on these kids. I didn't know football, but I know when my baby catch the ball and he's running, I'm loud.
You knew enough. You knew enough.
That's all I don't want to play the game. Well, I know you got the ball and you're running. I got you.
So is baby girl the inspiration for special needs decluttering?
No, so my business
Okay.
started in 2017. Uh,
Okay.
my name it's changed so much, but I do love working with the special needs community.
Okay.
So I went from functional organizing with Wendy to your declutter coach and now special needs decluttering. And over these 8 years, I realized I loved working with special needs children, special needs adults. So ADHD, I have ADHD. When my son was in first grade, he was diagnosed with ADHD. And as I was doing the assessment for him, I'm like, wait a minute, this was me as a child. And because he got diagnosed, I got my diagnosis in my early 30s.
Mhm.
So that's how, I started working with children, decluttering their rooms, ADHD, depression, women going through depression, and then seniors downsizing and simplifying because they want to continue aging in place. They want to continue living their best life. So
Mhm.
special needs decluttering really came about, yes, with my daughter, but seeing how much impact was happening with the kids as well. Even teenagers transitioning into adulthood, they needed a little bit of extra support. So whether you're
Mhm.
staying with your mom or your dad in their home and you're 27, but with autism, having that independence with some support was very
Mhm.
important to me. So when people reach out to me, like on my website, my consultation form will say, military, special needs, senior, or general. And general will say, I don't have any of those needs, but I would love to work with you because they see how important it is. So it's not just for special needs, but that's who I serve. But I don't want to say somebody that doesn't have any special needs can't work with me. But I work mainly with special needs community.
Okay, so this has been a brainchild. It's like, oh no, this is what speaks to me. This is what I
And it's
feel.
the clients that was coming to me. That's when I
Hmm.
realized, oh my goodness, I'm separating myself from. So what was happening? There's a lot of stay-at-home moms that are like, oh, I love to organize. Okay, that's not what people think that's not what I do. I come in, give me the most cluttered space, talk to me and say, you know what, Wendy, I've been following you on social media for over a year and I've been so embarrassed, but I really need support. I battled depression and I'm coming out of it. I'm working with a therapist, but now I need to reset my home. That is who I work with. A stay-at-home mom who is just doing this as a side hustle, that's not the support that you need. You don't need somebody to just come in and clean. You get a cleaner.
I'm
I
about to say you get a housekeeper for that.
Right. I come in and I am understanding I might be the first person in your home in the past 2 years. So I am coming in
Mm,
with compassion and I'm not judgmental at all. And we're talking and they're telling me, I went through divorce, this is happening. And in the middle of decluttering, they stop and they cry
I was
because
gonna say it sounds like you're doing therapy
yeah, and
sessions.
I was like, "Ooh, I'm teetering on the therapy." And I'm like, that's the line, right? Because it's therapeutic, but it's not
Mm,
therapy. So I always want to make sure that they are getting that support, and I'm coming alongside as part of their team, and I'm not providing therapy, but it's
mm,
therapeutic as you are going through and decluttering and just unearthing because you have stuff up under the bed, you have laundry. When you start putting loads of laundry in the wash and you start to feel so much lighter, oh, that all that emotion is going to be bubbling up. And we stop and we hug, and I tell them, you are doing an amazing job getting your life back together. Reclaiming your life is hard work. And you have
mm.
to pick yourself up and do the work is hard. But when you have the right team around you, it's so amazing helping you carry that load. But ultimately, they have to be the one to set the pace for us
Indeed.
to follow. So I'm not knocking stay-at-home moms that love organizing because there is a need for that. But when it comes to chronic disorganization, those that are battling depression, those that have ADHD and autism and PTSD, this is not for those that are just doing this for a side hustle. This is deep work that we're doing, and it should be taken that way as well.
Mm. No, and it's needed. That's because you're helping people release. Like that's what I hear. You're helping them release. Because a lot of times we do get attached to certain things, or we continue to bring things in because we're, kind of, I don't know, distracting ourselves or comfort. It could be a comfort.
Yeah.
All types of things. Because we've seen the hoarders, we've seen, the show hoarders. I know
And
I have.
there's levels to that. I was sitting in getting my car worked on, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching the shows, and I'm like, gosh, that's such amazing work that they're doing. But those that do the work on the other side where they say, we're going to continue providing you with support, I'm like, that's the clients that I want. But when you work through have a client on the show where at the end of the session, they're like, I'm just going to keep hoarding like I normally do. Then there's no changed behavior. And those are hard. Those are hard because then you have to say, you're not ready and I'm not able to help you any further because the goal is not for me to help you declutter. And then you go and you
Yeah,
go
well,
stuff back in the
why?
house and you didn't do the work. And yeah, I can say, oh, I have a client for life, but that is not the goal. The goal is for me to eventually be fired and I watch you shine. That is the
Mm,
goal. And maybe once a year I come in and we do a maintenance session, but the goal is for you not to need me forever and ever and ever. That is not the goal. That's not my goal. The goal is
mm,
for me is for you to learn these skills and this life transition that you're in, and you transition and you lead this amazing life and you tell other people, oh my gosh, Wendy's amazing. She helped me do this and here's where I am now. But the goal is not for you to need me forever and ever. That's not the goal.
Yes, no, you gotta grow. Fly, little baby, fly.
Hi, baby.
Yes. Okay. So, okay, walk us through that process. Someone goes to your website, they see the form as an assessment or consultation form, and they fill
Yes.
this out, let you know what they need or what they're looking for or what they're going through.
Yes.
And then you reach out to them and
So they go to the website, specialneedsdecluttering.com. They book their free 20-minute Zoom consultation. They fill that out. I'm going to ask them if they're military. So I'm also a United States Army veteran. So I work with my veteran community as well. And I ask them, is there anything that would be hindering us from doing any work today? Any diagnosis, and even if you're filling it out for your child as well, let me know how I can support. Oh, my son have ADHD or autism. So I know, so I'm coming in the consultation kind of knowing a little bit about your kid. And then you fill that out. And then the next, when you hit submit, you book that session. So when you'll get a few reminders and then you show up on the consultation. And if you're doing it for your child, I always say, have the child there as well, because what I want to make sure that I'm the right fit for your family and your family is the right fit for me. Because if I'm seeing that the child is there and the child is saying, I don't want to, it's not it's not the right fit. Because what end up happening, then I end up just cleaning their room, and that's not the goal. I want that child to be able to say, Miss Wendy, hi, or even if the child can't even speak to me, at least they can see me. I ask them, what's your name? And they tell me their name, or maybe they just be like, nope. But at least you see me, and then they see me talking with the mom, we're laughing, maybe crying, and getting a feel of what is needed. Because sometimes I show up and I'll send a reminder the day before and I say, hey, are we still good for tomorrow at 9 or 10 or whatever? It's like, my son or daughter cannot wait for you to come. Like, okay, they didn't say anything on the consultation, but they're excited. And that is where I know that the impact can happen. So I would say from 8 years old to up, as my daughter gets older, my kids' age get a little bit older because they're teaching them, I want to teach them that these life skills is for life. It's not just us cleaning their room, right? It's more about the maintenance and let's make this your little apartment, so your mom is not coming in your room telling you to clean up because it's already cleaned up. What is
yes.
happening? Let's go. And I tell that I advise the parents. It's mostly moms that I speak to. Rarely do I speak to dads. It's more the moms that's reaching out because the mom will say, I didn't learn these skills as a child. Can you please work with my son? And can you work with me as well? So even though the child might be on ESA, now I'm working with the mom and she's doing private pay because she's seeing the work that's happening with the child. So I'm able to work
Mm,
alongside the family as well. And if it's the right fit, then we go ahead and we book the first session. I do in person and I also do virtual. So in person is a 3-hour session because 2 hours is just not enough. And the
mm,
goal is not for me to just do a closet and half of the bedroom. So normally within a 3-hour session, we get the majority of it done. Yeah, and I would leave a little bit of homework. I'll ask the child, do you want independent work or do you want us to do it all together? So if we don't get finished, then I let the mom know, okay, so have them clean out these 2 bins of Legos or just the bookshelf, and I help them process through that as well. And I also do
right.
virtual decluttering. So it's 4 30-minute sessions, and it's just the child and I. Just I say, point me in direction. So you point me to the closet, and I'm like, okay, let's start with the top shelf. You always do top to bottom, left to right. That is how I teach. That is how we do it. Because if you're just cherry picking throughout the room, you're gonna get done in an hour and think, I'm exhausted. But it looks worse. What did I get done? But if you start with one small area, even if you only did an hour, you can see the progress, right? So I always say pick one area. So I help break things down into small bite-sized pieces.
Right. And all the kids that you are working with, they diagnosed or labeled with a
Most
special need. Okay.
most are ADHD, autism, and sometimes a combination of both.
Okay. Okay, and I know you said that you have this up because I'm looking at your background and looking all how everything's all neatly organized. I see the post-its over there on the
Yeah, that's my
container.
bins of files, and I'm trying to go digital. So each bin is categorized, and I take one folder out, and I'm like, all right, let's scan these documents because I'm trying to go digital. Going digital is hard. But I went from a four-drawer file cabinet that was packed full to three bins right there. So I'm
Oh,
so excited.
nice.
Slowly.
Okay.
Hey,
Baby steps, baby
if you don't
steps.
tame paper, oh, paper's going to overtake your life.
Indeed. My friends used to call me an organized hoarder because I'm always like big, oh, it's memories. Like, oh, I need to keep this. And it wasn't until I
Mouth
moved
on
to
this as a baby.
Yes. Oh my gosh, how can I throw this away? Girl, I throw away everything
I
now.
always say, right, right, or create memory bins. Have a memory bin for each child. Once that bin is full, okay, let's purge some more. Because starting in kindergarten, we keep everything, right? Now your kid is in sixth grade, but you don't need to keep when they write their name. Maybe you get rid of their first scribbly for the first time, and now you're keeping the little journals that they're keeping, right? So you keep purging that one bin, but you keep a size, a bin, so it's not all over. Don't try to get a second bin. Just keep one bin for memories, whether it's baby blanket or the outfit that came home from the hospital in, and keep it like that. And then some files from schoolwork.
Yeah, it is hard to know the cutoff. It's like, oh my gosh, but I should I? Look, it took a while, but I definitely have gotten to the point where I know that can go.
And because we want to start traveling more,
Mm,
I'm very conscious of what we buy. So even with
mm,
curriculums, we don't buy a lot of curriculum. I have some books up top that we're going to take to is it the resource place in Phoenix? So we're just gathering up some resources. I'm like, okay, we're just not going to use this. We're going to get a tutor. My daughter wants to write a book. So I'm like, okay, so we're going to do journals. The tutor's going to get her a journal so she can start journaling. So we'll do that instead of trying to do, a different curriculum for writing. So we do more tutors than doing
mm.
more curriculums. And so we're transitioning to doing more of that. But we do
Mm.
Japanese, guitar. We have someone that comes in twice a week and they do cooking in the kitchen because my daughter, her food was so limited. It was mac and cheese, French fries, and pizza. That's what she was eating. And I'm like, oh my
Mm.
goodness, we have got to get other things in her. And now a Japanese mom, she made pak choi with carrots, some noodle, and my daughter ate that. And I'm like, but the thing with my daughter, you can't be like, "Ah," you cannot celebrate. So I have to be like,
Mm. Real subtle.
just have to ignore, just be like, is it good? You like it? Okay. Go separately and celebrate because it's like the little scared mouse, right? If you can scare her, so it's like you got to celebrate independently. But she makes scrambled eggs. She goes in the kitchen, and Japanese mom is like, I can't believe she's doing all these things. And I'm like, yeah, it took some time. Even washing my daughter's hair, like we couldn't get water in her face. And now I
Mm.
can wash her hair, and then she goes in the shower, and then she rinses out the conditioner from her hair. Still, but not with it getting in her face, but that alone is progress. Right. And I
Mm.
tried locking her hair. And then we didn't like that. So we took that out. She didn't like combing her hair. So all of it. So it's not just the food, but it's personal hygiene every single night.
Mm.
I'm like, okay, it's time. I'm going to go take my bath. You go take your bath. And just building on that. I mean, like, I know when she turns
Mm.
18, she'll be 12 next month. She might move out on her own, or I'm going to have a place where she have her own little apartment, and then support is going to come in for her. So even though she's 11, I'm already thinking about what her as an adult is going to look like. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, she might move out on her own and say, I'm going to go to Japan and study for a year. And I'm like, okay, you don't like people. So what is your strategy to live abroad? And what are those sensory things that you need to work through? And we have coaches that come in and help her as well. So it's not just me homeschooling her. We have a team. And Our team is amazing, absolutely
Yes.
amazing. She does voice and Japanese and cooking, and we do hiking, and we have one person that comes in and does yoga with her and breath work, to help with her sensory. So she's come a long way, and gosh, she has some cheerleader. I'm still the loudest, but she got some cheerleaders.
Got some other, like some background. Yes. Yes. No,
Yes,
I
yes.
love this. I love this. So many similarities with my oldest too. Just her interest wise, like she loves all thing. I told you the whole Japan and Japanese, like that's her thing right now. And we were talking about an international trip for when she turns 13. Japan is on the list, but she also
She can do 4-H. She can do the outbound program.
That's what I mean. Now I'm
Yeah,
intrigued. I'm gonna
yeah,
Google after this. I
yeah.
am.
I'll give you
I'm
information.
going because
Yeah.
she's outgoing girl. She'll bounce on us. She'll deuce us up quick and leave us. I know she will. Call
It's
y'all.
gonna be good. Yes.
Call y'all. But no, this is amazing, Wendy. I'm so like appreciative of the services that you have created because that is a thing, honey. Not just for special needs, just for individuals in general that like to hold on to a lot of things. And I know, but because we were talking about you going back to Florida, and I was talking about Jacksonville, where I know I got a sister right now that was definitely. But when I was there, I helped her clean out her closet, honey. And I had to threaten her. I told her I didn't want her using her closet no more. I was like, don't even go in there. Don't even go
Don't
in
even
there.
do it. It's perfect. Don't touch it. And that's why I'm doing workshops as well, because I'm doing a lot more virtual services because my daughter and I are going to start traveling more. I say you can
Nice.
call us like the young snowbirds because we love both states and we love international travel as well. And we have
Mhm.
family in Maryland as well. So I also do the in-person, virtual, and workshops as well. So I have two workshops that's out. One is Declutter Your Closet, and one is Declutter Your Bedroom. And that's at the end of the month. And you can go on the website and find that as well. Yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you. Thank you. Very much needed. I got two more questions before you
Yes.
go, though.
Yes.
One, with all that you do, and especially with helping others, normalize their life or minimalize their life, rather, how do you take care of you? What's your self-care look like?
am I am bad with self-care. I have to admit that. Um, I would say getting out when it was cooler, it was hiking. So my daughter, she has a tutor that does the hiking, and I would walk along with them. So I did like the hiking. I'll break off and I'll do my own thing. So I do love hiking when the weather is cooler. When I'm in Florida, I'm at the beach. But for me, sleep. I have really
Okay.
been doing a lot more sleeping. Sometimes I make myself go to bed without, because I was like, all right, I'm going to keep working until I get tired. Nope. I
Mm-mm.
go to bed before I get tired. Yeah, drinking more water. Um, what else? Self-care. Yeah, I'm working on that.
Good job. That's fine. Baby steps
Doing
in it
more stuff with
all.
my daughter, just to travel. Like we planning on next trip to Japan in March. So we leave
Okay.
March. So self-care is not every single day, but for me and also starting to work out, I'm starting to do that, not as consistent, but that is going to be the biggest self-care for me.
Yes, yes. Baby steps, love. Baby steps. Because I always want to ask it. Because if you ain't thinking about it, I need you to be thinking about it. If you ain't doing it, I need you to be doing it. Because
Yes.
self-care is a priority.
Yeah.
So
And
we
the
need
thing
you to be
is,
well.
right. And if I'm taking care of my daughter and I'm taking care of my clients and, my clients are, battling depression and things like that. And if I'm not showing up 100% with them, then what am I doing? I'm just adding to their
Exactly.
stress, right? So I
Hmm.
can't pour from an empty cup. And I always remind myself that. And also, I love the quote that says, wherever you are, be all there. So
Mm.
homeschooling my daughter. That's why I don't have my phone number for anybody to just call me because I can't just pick up the phone because I'm in the middle of working with my daughter, right?
Mm.
But you book that consultation, and when I'm working with my clients, I'm 100% there. So when I'm in person with my clients, I have my phone and I have my Apple Watch. But unless it's my daughter calling, I don't pick up. They can go to voicemail because I am 100% with my client. So I love the quote that says, "Wherever you are, be all there."
Yes, I love that too. Being present is like a big thing for me. It's like,
Splitting your focus. Yeah. I know it's easy to do, but really try to be intentional with that.
it's too much. But no, I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing that and keep on being more intentional about your self-care because we need it. And because you're taking on a lot too when you're going into these homes, you leaving with stuff. Like you ain't leaving it there. So you
Yeah,
got to make sure you do release that also. So
absolutely.
yes, Wendy. And three things you would want our listeners to leave here with. If they didn't hear anything else, what's three things you want to make sure that they hear now?
When it comes to your teenagers, I am a big proponent of teens and trades. Really be, I don't know. Okay, so teens and trades is one. Two, I will say um, interest. It doesn't have to be the whole curriculum, but have your kid find an interest and try to do things around that. Include the science, the math, the history, all that around that interest. Because if it's just strictly academic, they may not be interested. But when you find something that they're interested in and you do that around it, they would really learn. Sometimes they're learning without even knowing it, right? And then the third thing, I would say life skills. So whether you're working with me or you're teaching this to your child on their own, the goal, I used to say the goal is to be, bring your best self to be the future husband and the future wife. But I don't say that anymore. I am newly divorced. And I would say the biggest thing is for them to be a happy and whole adult. And
Mm,
having that spouse is a bonus. It is not the goal. So make sure when your child is 18 and they're moving out on their own that they are well-rounded with life skills as well as the academic piece, but they're able to be a functional adult in this world. So getting married is not the goal. Being whole and happy is the goal. So let's make sure that we are teaching them alongside the math and the English and the reading, but teaching them these life skills that they can be independent on their own.
yes, ma'am. Big, big, big message. Yes. Yes. But thank you, Wendy. Families, like, we got resources galore and there's something for everything, like literally. And I know that like decluttering is a thing. Like it really is a thing, especially now. A lot of people are getting more intrigued by the minimalistic lifestyle. We just spent 3 months on an RV, so we were definitely minimal. Um, but it is a thing, and it's you feel so much freer when you release a lot of the things. Because I know before we moved here, girl, we had so much stuff, and I gave away so much stuff. I gave books included. Those were my babies. Well, and you see the bookshelves back there, both, but I gave away so many.
So one more tip I would say when it comes to downsizing and becoming a minimalist, think about the things that you want to keep. And then the things that you no longer want will kind of rise to the surface. Instead of saying, I'm going to just give away stuff and then I'm going to figure out what I'm going to keep, start with the end in mind. What do I want to keep? And then it's easy to start releasing other things. So, books, hopefully you get your books back and
Of
go to
course.
the library, you know.
Look, girl, we have books galore. We have books everywhere. Books in there, books like books there. Like we got books. We got books. Look, that's why I was like, I guess it's time to let them go.
Because then you
But
like take pictures of the books and then the library,
but
you know.
Wendy, when I let my books go, that's when I knew that I had like reached another level. I was like, oh yeah, girl, you real detached out here. Like, look at you. Like, look at you.
This is the life that you want. Like for us, it's
Yes.
travel. I don't want to travel with all this stuff. So
Mm,
read the book, let it go. If you really love it, maybe get it on audiobook. I know some people like the physical pages. Rent it from the library. Get it from the library, you know? So, and then they let you keep it for a very long time.
they do. And let you take, I just told you the girl checked out like 7 books. They let you take like 30 items at a time. It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
like, oh my
Oh,
gosh,
go
like,
for it. Yeah. Yeah.
but yes. So parents, just understand that the lifestyle that works for you is what works for you. And there are people who will assist with helping to ensure that you reach your level of success, you'll reach your level of higher being, purpose in general. So definitely just always reach out for the resources that are necessary for you. Check out Special Needs Decluttering. Okay. She got something for everybody. Because it may be something like you like, what? Like this may be your first time hearing, like even just thinking about decluttering in general. So if it speaks to you, by all means, have to reach out. Description, well, the links will be in the description to find Miss Wendy, and you know, homeschool your kids.
Thank you.